Ever wondered about the backstory of the chick that swan dived from the Bramford building in Rosemary's Baby? Well, get ready because you're gonna have a feature-length film of the first attempt at the rich and powerful to birth the second coming of Satan. In this prequel, sidequel, requel to the 1968 classic in Apartment 7A.
Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, the Rosemary's Baby prequel, Apartment 7A, written and directed by Natalie Erica James, who's known for directing the unsettling creepy Relic. We meet Terry, a professional dancer on Broadway who unfortunately botches a dance move on stage and breaks her ankle. She then spends months on the road to recovery, crashing with her fellow dancer friend and her bitchy housemate. Once healed, Terry goes to audition after audition after audition, but never gets cast because the directors of New York are having none of her! That is until she auditions for a new Broadway production of an Amazon warrior dance troupe, and she is physically pushed to her limit. Then sex-pesty producer Alan requests Terry go a little further and see how far she will go to get the role, and requests that she get on all fours and act like a pig. Clearly, he's a big fan of the film Deliverance. She shuts down his request as she still has a sliver of self-respect left. This decision doesn't sit very well with her, so she follows Alan back to his home, which can only go well. And wouldn't you know it, Alan happens to live at the Bramford building.
Hi, Mandy! Oh, hi, Mandy!
While stalking Alan, she then bumps into elderly couple Roman and Minnie Castevet. They take her in, hear her story, and take pity on her situation. They then offer her the apartment down the hall which they own to help her get back on her feet. No pun intended. What a lovely couple. Clearly they're doing this out of the kindness of their hearts with no ulterior motive. They then go the extra step and set up a Weinstein date with her and Alan at his apartment. You know, to help her career. But Alan is more of a Cosby, and after having her cocktail drink she starts getting dizzy and passes out. She then has really morbid dreams involving some sexy times with a dark crystal-encrusted Doja Cat. The next morning she wakes up in Alan's bed with some suspicious bruises in some questionable places. And wouldn't you know it, Terry is then cast in the Amazonian Broadway production. Things seem to be going from good to better. However, it's not long before things start to get creepy and creepier. The Castevets start to get a little bit too comfortable with Terry and start invading her space, becoming intrusive. And it's not long before Terry finds out she's preggers. Thinking her career is over, the Castevets offer her a deal she can't refuse. That they will adopt her child when it is born so she can go on to have her dance career without being burdened with a child. And it's not long after this that Terry discovers that she may be birthing the second coming of Satan. Now she's between a rock and a hard place. If you've seen Rosemary's Baby, you've pretty much seen this movie. It has similar beats with a couple little changes here and there. In saying that though, the film was entertaining and did have me engaged. It was shot really well, the acting was superb, and you even get a sprinkle of some psychedelic dance numbers. But the problem with a prequel is, you know exactly where it's all going to end up. I loved the music in this film as well. Obviously it uses the original theme from Rosemary's Baby, but also I loved the song choices with the period it was set in. Julie Garner is an absolute powerhouse and yet again proves how good of an actor she really is. If you haven't seen Ozark, do yourself a favour. Her character steals every scene and she is absolutely phenomenal in that show. But the absolute best on ground, the MVP of this film is none other than Diane Wiest as Minnie. She's both unsettling and eerie while also being overly friendly. She absolutely nails the recreation of the character that Ruth Gordon made famous, who of course has since passed away. This film does a really good job of recreating the feel of the first film, and in a way almost feeling like it's a modern remake. And kind of is. But as aforementioned, as with any prequel, you know exactly where Terry is going to end up. And not to spoil a movie that was released in 1968, but I will say where this film ends, Rosemary's Baby has already begun. Any horror film regarding the occult or demonic worship, especially from the rich and powerful, creeps me out. So the film had a slight advantage for me. And a period piece set in the 60s? I'm in. I did enjoy this film, I really did. However, if I'm really honest, I'm more likely to go back and watch Rosemary's Baby over this. However, I would enjoy having a back-to-back feature. But I feel the reveal and unravelling in Rosemary's Baby is played out a little bit better and creepier. Well, maybe it's because I saw Rosemary's Baby first and it's a classic, I don't know. It's interesting to see what future generations will think of it. Anyway guys, that's my chicken review of Apartment 7A. Right down below if you've seen it. What are your thoughts on it? But more importantly, what is your favourite demonic worshipping horror? And of course, you've made it this far in the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly. And I'll see you back here next week for the next review, but until then, stay spooky, kids.